Japan has just been on the upswing ever since the late 90s then, no?
From 2006 to 2024, an 18-year record of wins at the Japan Cup.
18 years in a row? How's it going, Fish fam? Welcome back or welcome in if this is your first time checking out the channel. Just so you are aware, I know this is the only umamusume video I am posting on this channel. However, also put a bunch of episode reactions over on my main channel. I know YouTube does not like umamusume content usually, so if you do want to see those reactions and make sure that you get to see them before YouTube deletes them, I would suggest either joining on Patreon or joining the Discord. Alright, Tokai Teio, a triumphant return.
On my Twitch, I'll link it down in the description below. To further support this series, consider becoming a channel member as well, or leave a super chat and tell me what you enjoyed most. Thank you to all my current channel members and subscribers over on Twitch. And now, without further delay, let's get right into the video. Horse racing remains to this day as one of the most popular sports in Japan. Through the decades, legacies have been established and several racehorses have solidified themselves in the JRA Hall of Fame, forever immortalized for their greatness on the racetrack. Every year, around 6,000 to 8,000 new racehorses are registered to the and of that group, less than 30% would manage a single win throughout their career.
Is that
of this 30%, even fewer would be known as Triple Crown racehorses. Over the span of 1941 to 1992, the odds of becoming a Triple Crown racehorse were 1 in every 76,500.
That's
for many,
bananas, dude. I did not realize there were that many horses.
It would be the foundation to a story of perseverance. This is a story of Tokai Teio, the racehorse who defied all odds and turned the tragedy into a triumph.
I did not realize it was that many horses. Like I thought it was a few hundred or something.
Following this series, you'll know the game utilizes real-life events to shape the characters we race in the game. Before we dive into Teio's story, we first need to familiarize ourselves with what exactly a Triple Crown racehorse is. In the game, you'll compete in various races to climb to the top, eventually reaching the Ura Finale series. This instance in the game, just like everything in umamusume, is modeled after races that took place in real life. A Triple Crown racehorse is a 3-year-old thoroughbred who has won 3 races that make up the prestigious Japanese Triple Crown. These races should sound familiar if you played through umamusume Pretty Derby.
Yeah, I always forget that they have to do it in a specific year. Like, they can't just win 3 races,
and the Kika Sho.
You know?
The first ever Triple Crown racehorse was St. Light, who was given the Triple Crown title in 1941. The next racehorse to receive this title would be Shinzan in 1964, Mr. CB in 1983, and finally Symboli Rudolph in 1984.
Damn, that powerful
Tokai
ass
Teio
horse
was set to be the next recipient of this prestigious title. This was because Symboli Rudolph was Teio's sire, making him bred for the racetrack just as his father was. On April 20th, 1988, Tokai Teio was born at the Nagahama Ranch in Nikapu, Hokkaido. Even Teio's name is a reference to his father's crowning achievements. Teio translates to monarch, directly referring to Rudolph's nickname Kote, meaning emperor. From birth, Tokai Teio didn't show much promise, having long legs and a delicate frame.
Because obviously
However,
I knew who Papa was.
His potential began to shine through as conditioning and training began. Teio displayed flexible movement and a competitive spirit, reigniting the hope that he could follow up in his father's footsteps. Teio's unique flexibility is also brought up in the series, both by her fellow Umas and in the iconic Teio step, which is present both.
Bro, I just got the Teio step is, I know it's like iconic to the character, but as someone who's just like going through all this for the first time, it's so goofy to just like see that
in the anime and in game. In the world of umamusume, Tokai Teio is a bright, bubbly Uma who has a natural-born talent for racing. She sees Rudolph as a mentor and a symbol of success. Rudolph is a student council president.
First of all, Rudolph is the symbol of success.
And elegance through the story of umamusume. With Tokai Teio, Rudolph seems to have a softer side for her junior, and even from afar, still hopes the best for the Uma who admires her so much. This is yet another nod to real-life events in umamusume, showcasing the lineage of Symboli Rudolph to Tokai Teio. Tokai Teio also displays high levels of speed in the series as well, a nod to the outstanding performance that he show on ramp courses. A horse of Tokai Teio's caliber should not have been able to record good times. He had a longer stride, but even still was able to shatter all expectations. Due to this, Shoichi Matsumoto, Teio's trainer, would plan a schedule to have Teio seize the next Triple Crown. In the anime, Tokai Teio is also racing as a legacy to Rudolph. Teio is inspired by seeing Rudolph race before she joins Tracen Academy. When first meeting with the legendary Triple Crown recipient, Teio vows to be the next Triple Crown racehorse, directly referencing the lineage Teio came from once more.
Bro, can I
Through
just
the next
say,
string of
every
victories,
time
she'd inspire
we go back to the dorm room and she's just crossing something out on her fucking list of goals,
her future
that
generation
shit
of
was just
Pumas in the series
became
with the sun black
increasingly
and Septima
so
diamond.
depressing every
From
time.
Teio's debut on December 1st, 1990, he dominated each and every single race he took part in. The very same speed and competitive spirit shown in umamusume is reflected in Teio's race history. From his initial debut until May 26, 1991, Teio remained undefeated on the race
Hell
course.
yeah.
In this short time, he'd also placed first in the Satsuki Sho and Tokyo Yushun. This left only the Kika Sho to claim the Triple Crown. However, only 3 days after winning the Tokyo Yushun, Teio would hit a massive roadblock. With the Kika Sho and the Triple Crown title within reach, Tokai Teio would sustain his first injury in his racing career. Just as the anime subtly hints to in the first few episodes, Teio's keen-eyed handlers also felt something was off with the racehorse. After an examination on Teio was conducted, it was revealed that his left leg had been fractured.
The fact that they realized it in the concert was so... I was like, bro, man, as we're taking the victory lap too.
Her promise to Rudolph. The entirety of Umamusume Season 2 are the ups and downs of Teio's career. From this point until Teio's final race, I will do my best.
Season 2 had me so frustrated. I know he said ups and downs. It felt like nothing but downs. It felt like nothing but downs.
Anime and real life events as best as I can. Due to Teio's delicate frame, he was more susceptible to injuries such as this. Teio would spend nearly a year focusing on recovering and easing his way back into racing. In the anime, it's not depicted as anything severe. The first fracture is something Teio overcomes with relative ease and is back to racing shortly after. Returning to racing on April 5, 1992, Tokai Teio will place first in the Osaka High. This came as a wave of relief to onlooking fans who were worried for Teio's first injury.
Year.
Their beloved racehorse had bounced back, and even though he didn't receive a Triple Crown, he still displayed the same dominating presence he'd been known for on the racecourse. It was very rare to see an outcome like Teio's return, several months without racing to immediately dominating the competition once more. This feeling of relief, sadly, would be short-lived though. Teio's next race would be the spring Tenno Sho, with his major competition being Mejiro McQueen. The interesting thing about this race is the overall distance of it. Teio had raced on tracks ranging from 1800 to 2400 meters, comfortably racing medium-distance tracks over the course of his career. This would be Teio's first long-distance run, challenging both the UMA version and the real-life counterpart with a long road of conditioning and training. This rivalry reached its peak on April 26, 1992, when the spring Tenno Sho would take place. Despite the difference in distance, Teio was still the majority favorite to win, holding his title as an undefeated racehorse. For context,
oh yeah, I forgot. Technically
career,
undefeated, just defeated by,
third.
Injury.
In the 7 races previous, Teio would be the favorite to win by a landslide, and this race was no different. Due to this, it came as a major shock and upset that Teio wouldn't place second after McQueen, but instead 5th overall. This would be Teio's lowest placement in his career thus far. Unsurprisingly,
honestly, I thought it was even further back than that. I thought it was even further back.
Criticized by the media, establishing this event as a dethroning of an undefeated racehorse. The expectation was high.
In my headcanon, Teio was like 8th or
Teio
something.
Couldn't live up to the same expectation. This loss would sow the seeds of doubt in umamusume for Teio, and only continued to snowball from this point on. Several days after Teio's defeat, he experienced his second leg fracture of his career. At this point, Teio's injuries would be taken more seriously. Repeated injuries such as fractures could be deadly to racehorses, so it would be best to tread lightly. Despite Teio's injuries, and clearly personified in the anime, Teio's fighting spirit never dwindled, even after losing both the Triple Crown and his undefeated race history. This is the point where the anime ventures away from real-life events, So from this point onward, I'll be sure to cover what the anime left out in the remainder of Teio's career. On November 1st, 1992, Teio participated in the Autumn Tenno Sho. Even
Is
after
that the one
defeat
that's
of his
the
career,
invite
fans
only?
still firmly believed in Teio's ability to win. This was back on a 2,000-meter course, something Teio showed clear domination on in the early stages of his career. Sadly, this race too would come as a major upset to fans of the beloved racehorse. Teio found herself unable to accelerate any further.
That's the
through
one where
race,
Teio came
as
in way.
reflected from actual
Yeah.
racing footage. Teio would hover mid-pack for the entirety of the race, finishing 7th overall, far lower than the original 5th place upset against
Yeah.
McQueen. This would come as another major blow to Teio's reputation, and cause firm believers of Teio to lose faith in the racehorse who dominated the majority of their career. In Umamusume, following the Autumn Tenno Sho, we followed Teio on an emotional journey through recovery and rediscovery. Episode 7 of the anime would showcase a devastating loss at the Arima Kinen, with Teio placing 11th overall. Following this, Teio would fracture her leg yet again in episode 9.
And that was when
reflecting
the
events that
show
happened on
lost me, dude. I was like, okay, now they've gone too far. There's no way this is realistic. There's no way that this is actually what happened. They've lost the fucking plot at this point. That was what I thought. At that once Tokai Teio got injured a third time, I was like, okay, now the show is just hamming it up for the drama. There's no way this shit happened.
June 3rd, 1993. The 11th place Arima Kinen would take place on December 27th, 1992. But between this point and the depiction of Teio's third fracture would be one of the most important races of Teio's career. This race, unfortunately, is not one depicted in the anime, and is a race that we're all too familiar with if you've seen Umamusume Season 1. The Japan Cup is a prestigious international race, first established in 1981. This would pit Japanese racehorses against the best from around the world. The first race would include horses from Japan, the United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and India. Horse racing had a strong presence in Japan at the time, and expectations were high to see a win from Japan overall. The first ever Japan Cup winner was Marzi Dotes from the United States, coming as a major upset to the Japanese people. Following the debut of the Japan Cup, the door would be open to the best horses from around the world to participate, solidifying it as one of the most competitive international events to ever be established in horse racing. From the Japan Cup's initial establishment to the time of Teio's racing career in 1992, there would only be 2 victors crowned from Japan.
The fucking emperor. Yes, sir. The fucking emperor.
91, Japan would see repeated losses at the Japan Cup. As the years progressed, faith in a Japanese victory grew smaller and smaller, and the legacy of the back-to-back wins of Katsuragi Ace and Simbali Rudolph slowly began to become a distant memory. Funnily enough, the Season 1 depiction of Special Week's win would be taken from the 1999 Japan Cup, 7 years after Teio's participation. Special Week's win would usher in another wave of hope for the Japanese people, and be the first of several consecutive wins of Japanese racehorses in the following years. The following victories would include TM Opero in the year 2000, and Jungle Pocket in 2001. From 2001 till modern day, foreign competitors would only steal a victory twice from the pride of Japan. What once began as a race would showcase weakness over foreign competitors.
Japan has been on the upswing. Japan has just been on the upswing ever since the late 90s then, no?
From 2006 to 2024, an 18-year record of wins at the Japan Cup.
18 years in a row?
Be Tokai Teio's performance in 1993 that would revitalize the pride and hope of the Japanese racehorses.
Dude, W Teio.
Placement in the Autumn Tenno Sho. He was set to participate in the 1992 Japan Cup. It's important to note that Tokai Teio's competition was nothing to scoff at either. Even at the time of writing the script, the horses Teio went up against are still widely seen as the strongest lineup in the history of the Japan Cup races. Teio wasn't seen as a horse to claim victory either, placing 5th in the overall popularity poll to win. So it would come as a major shock to everyone on November 29, 1992, when Tokai Teio began to advance to the front of the pack. Against all odds, in front of the entire world, Tokai Teio was about to solidify himself as a legendary racehorse.
Yeah.
Teio had upset all
Fucking
odds, claiming victory for Japan.
again, I know I said it after they got injured, but like to come back from the injury and win, I was like, okay, this show is being so unrealistic now. There's like
Even
no way
though
this
Teio
should
would
actually
never
happen.
be a Triple Crown recipient,
You know?
he managed to do something even better. Despite 2 leg fractures, Teio was able to bring home a victory his father had years ago, showcasing the determination and competitive spirit that was still present within Tokai Teio. Teio had not only bested all odds against one of the most difficult rosters ever recorded, but had shown the people that nothing could keep him down. I'll never personally understand why the anime shied away from this race, but I wanted to make sure to highlight it in this video. Aside from Teio's miracle return, which we'll cover shortly, this was the highlight of Tokai Teio's career. The sheer sound of the fans' cheers and the excitement in the announcers' voices are enough to establish just how much hope Tokai Teio had inspired with this triumphant victory.
So crazy. So crazy, dude. Oh my god, dude, it was so neck and neck too.
Alright, now that we covered that
Damn
portion
near
of
a
Teio's
photo
career,
finish.
we can look once more to Umamusume Season 2 for the final race covered in this series. After sustaining a much more severe fracture on the 3rd of June 1993, Teio would cancel her race at the Takarazuka Kinen. This would showcase the internal struggle of Teio in the anime, seeing how she could have won the competition if she had participated. Teio would go through a lot of highs and lows at this point, but with the help of her friends and her trainer, she finds the strength and determination to
that's our leader right there. That's
At
our
this
leader.
point, Teio would be told she may never race at full capacity
That's Team
again,
Speaka's leader.
a devastating blow to the young Uma. Despite this, her determination to race never dwindled, and even through the pain of rehabilitation and conditioning, she found herself once more on the race course. A year after Tokai Teio's crushing loss at the Arima Kinen, the race following Tokai Teio's Japan Cup victory, she participated in the following year's Arima Kinen. The popularity of Tokai Teio had seen many ups and downs from her audience, but everyone hoped for a miracle for this race. Teio's popularity at the previous Arima Kinen would be first seeded to win. However, after the crushing defeat a year prior, it had dropped to 4th. If Teio's previous absence
I'm surprised it was
had little
that
hope of turning
high.
victory,
Like, if
this
I'm being
race
honest,
had
I'm
even
surprised it
worked
was
out.
that high.
In the recorded history of Japanese horse racing, there hasn't been a single G1 winner that hadn't raced for a year and come back victorious on the track. It's unheard of in general for this to occur at all, to have a horse return after such a long hiatus. Injuries like Teio's, for many, will result in retirement. When the race began, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Teio would perform as he usually did in both the anime and in Umamusume's final episode. As the race progressed though, just like with the Japan Cup, the audience began to see something remarkable occur. The miracle they all hoped for was about to become a reality. In the anime, Teio digs deep to find the strength to push for first place.
I did not think she was gonna win that, man. I'm
Kinen.
so
Just
for
like
real.
in the
Like, I
Japan
did
Cup,
not think
the
she was gonna win that
audience
shit.
cheers were overwhelming.
Biwa
The
had
legacy of
aura.
Tokai Teio was still alive,
Biwa had
and the
aura.
victory only described
And-
as a miracle
And based
was
off of
about
what
to
happened earlier in the season, I thought Rice Shower was just about to go out there and end Tokai Teio's career. That's what I assumed was gonna happen. Tokai Teio, the way they talk about
Teio
the way
would
they talk
surpass
about Rice
Biwa
Shower, bro.
Haide
I
near
thought she
final
was gonna go
spurt
out
to
there
win,
and
claiming
assassinate
another
Tokai
G1
Teio. That's
victory
what I
after
thought was gonna happen, bro. The way they talk about Rice Shower.
days away from the race course. This solidified Teio as one of the greatest racehorses of all time, setting the record for the longest period for a G1 winner to return and win yet another G1 race. Even in modern day, this record remains undefeated, a lasting example of Teio's perseverance. The victory in the anime comes off episodes of Teio struggling with her injuries, the possibility of not racing again, nor racing with her beloved rival, Mejiro McQueen. Teio's victory in the anime is described as a miracle race because that's exactly what it was. Not only did Teio defy all odds at the Japan Cup, but once more in 1993 at the Arima Kinen. A victory that would end Teio's career on a high note after sequences of crushing defeats. Sadly, following the Arima Kinen victory, In 1994, Teio would sustain one final fracture that would force him into retirement.
Teio got injured again?
Teio had solidified himself as a legendary racehorse. Unsurprisingly, in 1995, Tokai Teio was inducted to the JRA Hall of Fame, immortalizing his story of perseverance and determination. Following Teio's retirement, a photo album was released of him titled Yume o Kakeru, which is the same name as the second season's opening of Umamusume, a tribute to Teio's legacy and the lasting impact he had on Japanese horse
I
racing.
didn't even know he got
Teio
injured
would live out the
again.
remainder of his life away from the racetrack, acting as a breeding stallion to continue on the legacy as he did Rudolph's. Teio would have 835 offspring.
There's not enough time in the day.
Tokai
There is
Point,
not enough
Yamanese
time in the
Pure,
day, brother.
Tokai Pulsar, and Strong Blood. Tokai Teio lived comfortably for the remainder of his life before passing away on August 30th, 2013. He was the age of 25 and sadly would die of heart failure.
The fuck do you mean 835?
Turned to captivate the hearts of millions. This was the story of Tokai Teio, one of determination and perseverance, a legacy honored by an energetic Uma with a love for racing and a drive to never give up.
All right. I've obviously finished season 2. When do I watch the Hara Ura and when do I watch the rice shower video? When am I allowed to watch the rice shower video? Are there any more rice shower assassinations that I need to see happen first in the series before I check out the rice shower video? Let me know. Let me know, because when rice shower pulled up, it was a problem. When rice shower pulled up, it was a problem, brother. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I'll just leave it at that. I'm very interested. If rice shower does do some more stuff in this series, I'm very interested to see what that is. But yeah, today, actually, at the time I'm recording this, I should be starting season 3 today on Twitch stream. So unfortunately, you missed it. But if you join the Discord, if you follow me on Twitch, then you won't miss it, okay? And if you join Patreon right now, I think it's like, it has most of Season 2 already on there at this point. But YouTube still hasn't even finished Season 1. So, highly suggest that if you are interested in seeing umamusume content and staying as up-to-date as possible, that you join the Discord, so that way you get to tune into live streams and things like that. But if you just want to go through and binge watch stuff, you can join the Patreon, or you can, there's a one-time fee that you can pay to just get all of the umamusume reactions from here until infinity. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for this one. Like, comment, subscribe, like I already said. If you want to see the episode reactions that are out on YouTube right now, you can just hop on over to my main channel. There's a link in the description. There's a link on my YouTube channel, so do that. All right? I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.
Hey, if you like this video, then YouTube says that you'll probably like this video that's on the screen right now. So you can go ahead and hit that video. Look, go ahead. This is one right here.